When President Trump came into office recently, a year and a half ago, one of the things that the United States took an account of is where is the world heading? And for too long, those centers of power have stayed in places that have frankly become outdated. One of the things this administration has done is identify new centers of power. To me, to the president, to the administration, the importance of India is now. It's not stuck in other places. It's not stuck in past societies. We realize the potential that India has. We see the growth that India has, not only economically, but strategically to the world. And it's an area where we have identified, where we are growing, where we're enhancing this partnership. And it's one of the goals that this president has from the White House. When you look at the initiatives that the United States is expanding, is offering, is looking to partner with, we're looking at individuals that frankly are trusted. And India is one of those partners. Since I arrived here about 5 months ago, one of the priorities for us has been bringing individuals at the highest level of our government. And just 48 hours ago, the Secretary of State wrapped an incredible visit here after 4 days. It was his first trip to India. And it was a very substantial visit for the Secretary. Not only did he get to visit incredible historical and cultural sites, we had a quad meeting. He met with the Prime Minister. He met with the Minister of External Affairs. He met with the NSA. And so there was quite a few deliverables, including on critical minerals, including on enhanced security cooperation. And those are goals that we want to achieve and get across the finish line, is bring individuals from our government at the highest levels, have them connect with individuals here, and identify those win-win situations. So it's an immense privilege to stand before you this afternoon here in New Delhi. When I look out across this room, I do not just see the research leaders of today, I also see the architects of tomorrow. As I've been to other IIT campuses, I've experienced firsthand and witnessed the innovation that is developing, that is shaping, that we get to see behind these closed doors, but that the world will see over the next 2, 5, and 10 years. And some of it, I would venture to say, is life-changing. So identifying those opportunities and, again, connecting them with sides on the United States is an incredible privilege being here. We're gathered at a defining moment. One, where critical and emerging technologies are fundamentally reshaping the global balance of power. And I believe no partnership is better positioned to lead that charge than ours. At the same time of this immense transformation, I want us to be ambitious and shape the U.S.-India relationship into the defining strategic partnership of the 21st century, one that delivers tangible benefits for both of our nations and our people. When President Trump came into office recently, a year and a half ago, one of the things that the United States took an account of is where is the world heading? And for too long, those centers of power have stayed in places that have frankly become outdated. One of the things this administration has done is identify new centers of power. To me, to the president, to the administration, the importance of India is now. It's not stuck in other places. It's not stuck in past societies. We realize the potential that India has. We see the growth that India has, not only economically, but strategically to the world. And it's an area where we have identified, where we are growing, where we're enhancing this partnership. And it's one of the goals that this president has from the White House. In President Trump's second term, just weeks into it, in February, I was actually there, Prime Minister Modi and the President launched what is known as a Transforming the Relationship Utilizing Strategic Technologies, or simply known as TRUST. This initiative was launched when the Prime Minister visited us in Washington, D.C. at the White House. They agreed to promote government-to-government, academia, and private sector collaboration in critical and emerging technologies, defense, artificial intelligence, semiconductors, quantum computing, biotechnology, energy, and space. Their goal was clear: encourage innovation with our most trusted partners while ensuring sensitive technologies are protected. This is something that's not expanded to everyone around the world. When you look at the initiatives that the United States is expanding, is offering, is looking to partner with, we're looking at individuals that frankly are trusted. And India is one of those partners. Today I want to share with you what we've achieved in just over a year, because trust isn't just a framework, it's delivering real results. Let's first talk about artificial intelligence. Let me start with that. The first pillar of trust, and it's an ambitious undertaking that will shape the future of the world. We committed to developing a US-India AI infrastructure roadmap, identifying constraints to financing, to building, powering, connecting large-scale US origin AI infrastructure here in India. Since then, the Department of Commerce has taken measures to restore the flow of advanced AI chips to our partners around the world when they rescinded the AI diffusion rule. As part of the roadmap, we identified with industry and both governments changes to improve the regulatory environment to build data centers right here in India. These will be a key as we look ahead to building in India. And we're not just talking about items that we have changed on paper. We're seeing real results. We're seeing real American investment here and vice versa. For example, Amazon expects to invest $35 billion into India by 2030 to advance AI-driven digitization, export growth, and job creation. Microsoft announced a $17.5 billion investment here in India, including the expansion of hyperscale cloud infrastructure. And just last month, Google broke ground on a subsea cable landing terminal, which is valued at about $15 billion. These are incredible things that we have seen just from a handful of companies. Every week, we have individuals that show up to the embassy and they ask, is it safe to invest in India? Is this somewhere we can partner with? And our answer to them is yes. It's not an answer we give around the world. We're seeing this incredible innovation come here because it's welcome. You have a government that is forward-leaning, that has cut and changed rules to accommodate these giant tech companies that we have appreciated in the United States that are now looking to expand in trusted territories such as India. In February, India hosted the Global AI Impact Summit. The United States showed strong support with a large delegation. At the summit, we announced the U.S. AI Exports Program, TechCore, National Champions Initiative, and the AI Agent Standards Initiative. At the summit, Under Secretary Helberg and I officially welcomed India into Pax Silica, making India one of the first 10 trusted countries that were invited to join. As soon as that announcement happened, within 2 weeks, we had interest from 60 other countries that have asked us to join Pax Silica. The reason India was in the first top 10 countries around the world to join this is because we trust this place. We trust the people here, we trust the technology, we trust your government. It's a partnership that we're willing to build on. Trust is also transforming supply chains that directly impact human health and security. Last year, the leaders agreed to encourage public and private investment to expand manufacturing capacity in India and in the US for active pharmaceutical ingredients and for critical medicines. We delivered, and India delivered in a big way. I'll share two things with you. On pharmaceuticals, we import close to 40% of our generics from India. There's a reason the United States does that. It is because we trust India. These are critical, literally life-saving ingredients that are needed in the United States. It's happening here, not in other places around the world, because of that trust. The United States and India maintain one of the world's most dynamic bilateral space partnerships, spanning both civil and commercial sectors. Our cooperation holds strategic importance. It addresses emerging threats, advances peaceful use of space, provides counterbalance to China's influence, and drives technological innovation and economic growth. India's commercial space sector has grown significantly, with ISRO launching 233 satellites with U.S. companies over the last 20 years. India's recent announcement of plans to launch 50 new satellites, representing a $2.8 billion investment, creates new opportunities for U.S. space firms. India's 2024 Foreign Direct Investment Guidelines now permit up to 100% FDI in the space sector here, further expanding opportunities for U.S. companies to fuel India's growth. President Trump's goal is to facilitate bilateral trade in a way that creates unprecedented opportunities for American businesses and workers. Our current interim trade agreement is on the table for us to finalize, and that will unlock prosperity for both of our countries. Just last week, India had sent a team to Washington, D.C. to finalize the last 1% of that trade deal. Next week, we will welcome a U.S. delegation here to continue those talks. We fully expect that the trade deal will be signed over the next few weeks and months. Today, the United States is one of India's largest trading partners, and India is among the top trading partners of the United States. Importantly, this growth is increasingly driven by innovation, investment, and high-value sectors, from digital trade and advanced manufacturing to energy and emerging technologies, linking not just large corporations, but also startups and entrepreneurs.